back and come off.
That's fine. You know, your wife, your fiance bribed you. It's good.
No, man, she didn't bribe me, man.
Yeah. Speaking of bribes, we just watched Penguin episode 7. Coming up right now. Just hit it.
Yep, man. Just watch the next to last episode, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, but yeah, I
Yep.
believe there's only 8 episodes.
Is it called the penultimate episode?
Yes, the penultimate episode. Yes.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, let's go down the road like we normally do, and just say our general thoughts about the episode, like what we thought, like if we enjoyed this episode just overall, and then we'll get down into some of the nitty gritty of the episode. Ferris, man, how did you enjoy this episode as its own? Like, not counting the whole series, but just the episode as it goes.
I liked it. You know, more cerebral. You know, a little less action until the end. It was more cerebral, more exposition. We learned more. You know, this is at the end of the day, man, they're actors and they're acting with a good script and a good dialogue, and that's what we got. I quite enjoyed it. I loved it. But then they also sprinkled a little comic book action in between. You know, the occasional killing and stuff, and you know the explosions. So I liked it.
All right, Brandi, what did
I
you
like
think?
I like the episode. We got so this is kind of the Penguin Oz's origin story,
Mm-hmm.
how he became who he was. I won't do all the Brandy breakdown because
Well, we're about to break it down here in a second.
but yeah, no, I liked it. I thought it's his origin story, and you see how he does, and you know, you see his brothers died, but we kind of find out that he's the cause of it because he
Mhm.
wanted his mom's affection and all of his mom's affection, and so he kind of, you know, he knew what he was doing with his brothers, locking them down, and then he promised her at the end that he would get her anything she wanted because she wanted a better life than what she had. So we see why Oz is the way he is now.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I can say about this episode, I enjoyed it as well. I think it's going to be all across the board, and I think pretty much all across the board, all the different people we've had on the panel that has talked about this show with us and stuff, like Greg and anybody else who has joined during this journey, has said they like pretty much every episode. That it would have to be a terrible disaster in the next episode, which should be the last episode, for this show to actually fall on its face, because you only got one episode left. Everything you've done until this point has just been outright amazing. Because there are shows and stuff I've watched in the past to where they do this, go back in the past, give us some backstory, and then when it's over, it wasn't very interesting. It kind of took away from an episode, all that stuff. This season of Penguin has done it multiple times now, and not one time when I'm watching the backstory have I said, man, I wish I was with the character as of today. The casting they picked to play like these younger people that are supposed to be these characters, all of them knocking it out of the park. Whoever the kid was that played young Penguin, boom, home run, man. Dude did. And I'll say the lady they casted for his mom. Now, I'm not going to bring the other two brothers in there, even though I didn't think they did bad, but they just didn't have a huge part, right? They just basically they play some flashlight tag and die. Okay. So
no, because the thing is, he saw how the mother was toward the older brother, and so there was a little thing. And the older brother was the deliverer for his mom of things to the gangster. So the brother was a little bit. So he's kind of jealous of the brother of getting the infection of his mom, and
he has an unhealthy attachment to his mother because I think due to the disability with his foot, so that probably created an unhealthy attachment in the case.
I think
he wanted all the affection for himself because he didn't want to share it with his brothers, and he saw the older brother. So the older brother kind of has more of a.
I was going to say hot take, but I don't think this is actually a hot take when you think about it. I think it's the mom's fault.
Yeah, it is.
Because this is what happens when you have beautiful writing. Because not everybody will see it immediately. But when I watched it took me a few minutes right into the episode as everything kind of progressed. But when I watched it and I started thinking about it, that first little section with his mom, when it's just him and her, and she's talking about how he's a strong boy, how he's going to do this, how great he was. And then we have the immediate scene of the two brothers coming in. And at first, she's angry with them, right? Because they're jostling things around, getting under the table, bumping it, knocking things off. And she like steps up. She gets mad for a second, but then she starts showing them attention. And it's like, it lets you know.
He got jealous.
Yeah, but it lets you know when all three boys are there. When they're all three there, she gives them the attention. But when it's her and Oz by themselves, that's when he gets the attention. And that's what drives him to think about or even do what he did. I don't think at first, like when he shut the door, I don't think he realized they were going to die. But I think he wanted the outcome, you know, kind of like intuitively, like he just wanted that to happen. But I don't know.
They die.
Yeah, exactly. And but that gives him that attention because now it's only him. But like I said, but the mom kind of fosters that because it seems like when all three boys were there, he was the last one she talked to. But when they were on one, she gave him this super grand attention, pumped him up really big, right? And that's what he wanted, and he wasn't able to get it when all three brothers were there.
He thought the brothers.
But I think that's on them, right? Because they're playing their zombie thing, and she's doing work. Then she hops in with the zombie stuff. Well, of course she's gonna give him the attention when it's just him. Then of course, then she ended up giving. She's probably like, I already gave him attention. Oh, now my other kids are here. Let me go play with them real quick. She's a mother of three boys. I don't think it's necessarily her fault. I think it's just Oz.
Oz wanted the attention to himself.
I think some kids, man, you know, they're evil, and he's he's an evil kid. He was an evil kid.
I would agree with you. I agree that he's evil.
He thought the brothers were going to get in trouble when they came in, and so he was like, "Oh, they're going to get in trouble." But then she started playing with them, and then he's like, "Oh, he got jealous because he wanted all the attention for himself."
Yeah, because you know they were just playing around, hosting around. They're being kids.
The brother was
and of
10.
course, you know, exactly. So like, and then she like played zombie with them. I don't think it's her
here's
fault.
The thing: when you take that scene as a whole. I agree with pretty much everything you're saying.
No, that part's not her fault. The one that's her fault is at the end when she says, you know, I want all that. He's like, I'm going to get you all this. I promise.
Yeah, exactly.
When she's dressed up. When she's dressed up, yes.
That I agree with as well. But what I'm saying though, is at the end of that scene, it's not the fact that she like pulls her attention away because they come in the room and now she's giving them attention. It's like when they're getting together and they're about to go out. And Oz is trying to like step in and do things because she's pumping him up, right? Like, hey, you're like, great, you're going to be my strong boy. But then she doesn't give him none of the responsibility because he wants to like give the book. She takes it away and gives it to the other kid. Like, so she like, no, he's not the youngest. It had to be that other kid.
He's the middle child.
No, he's the middle child. It's middle child syndrome.
Yeah. You know, it's the older brother. Of course, he had the responsibility. He was the oldest brother. And she didn't give it to the other kid. They're too young.
On both cases, I'm going to also point out something that before I forget. I want to give the show writers, the show runners, everybody that has to do with this show that has anything to do with the creative choices, big time props. They didn't go with this bullshit I've been seeing a lot of where it's like we're going to try to make everybody great characters. Nobody's super good because they have flaws, or nobody's super bad because they have good points. None of that. They washed all that away. There were points in this show where they built it up where maybe you could get behind Sophia, right? Maybe you could really get behind Penguin. Now, you still may have your favorite, like who you may be sort of rooting for or whatever. But if you're rooting for them, you know both of them are pure evil, especially after this episode. Penguin's pure evil. All the good things he's done, like how cool he's been with Vic, all this stuff that you might have attached yourself to and been like, oh man, you know, like I know he's a bad guy, but he's doing these cool things. And it seems like he's trying to do them for different reasons than everybody else. Nope, he's pure evil. Same thing with Sophia. You can be like, well, she killed her family because they're bad. I'm going to forgive her for that. But like what she
also
does,
killed children as well. There's also children in the house that died as well.
But like, even with that being said, the little girl she goes and talks to in this episode, that's pure evil.
Cousin.
Yeah, cousin, whatever she was.
She scarred that girl. That girl knows that she killed the entire family. So she's going through emotional distress, and she starts cutting herself.
Bro, you think that she's
No.
gonna like comfort her, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe make up some BS that maybe gets on the kid's side. She literally tells that kid,
Yeah, I did. I killed him.
your parents are fucking trash.
No,
Yeah,
at first,
exactly.
at first she didn't. At first, the girl was like, "I saw a mask in the bag." That's what the thing is. She saw the mask, and then she tried to say, "No, it was an accident that happened." But then she saw the cuts on her arm, and it's like, these were bad people. Don't hurt yourself over them. Like they deserved it. Like don't go down that. You don't deserve. And then it kind of internal made that, like don't go. Made her think of things too about herself. Like she's getting what her father wanted. He wanted her to run the business before he put her into the asylum.
But there's a way to do.
She was asking too much questions.
Yeah, well, there's a way to do. And the crazy part about that is probably why she feels later on in the episode when she starts talking about her dad that she kind of feels trapped, because now she's kind of doing things her dad kind of wanted her to do by taking over and stuff, because she lived with that thing of remembering something that was kind of fishy about her dad, then asked the wrong questions and got in trouble. Now this little girl saw something maybe she shouldn't have saw. Now she's asking questions, and now the same thing, and she's about to do the same thing her dad did. She doesn't take that little girl away from there immediately. She leaves her in there. It's like she's doing the same thing her dad's doing, even though technically she doesn't want to, like, because we learned that later in the episode. But yeah, man, like what she did to that kid to me was just totally plain evil. Like telling her that her parents were garbage and trash and like bad and all this. Just saying that to her.
They all were.
But she's only doing that too for selfish reasons, right? Like,
no, she's doing it. No, she's doing it so the girl doesn't hurt herself, because she sees the girl hurting herself.
Yeah.
What do you think gonna happen with that?
Says to her, "Do not hurt yourself over these people that weren't good, that don't deserve this, because they weren't good people."
You know what's going to happen? She's going to hurt herself this time, but now it's going to be to remember that she's going to have to get revenge on Sophia when she can.
No, she told her, "You're going to go."
I think if she does hurt herself to a point, I think she ends up just killing herself. Then Sophie's gonna have to live with that.
Yeah, that's even worse, right?
Exactly.
Like, I'm trying to give her the revenge tour. You're just saying she might take her own life, and that's even worse.
Sophia could have killed her too. She could have left her in the thing, but she wanted her.
Man.
But she could have. She could have.
Yeah,
she could have killed her.
She could have, but I'm saying man, because like these killers.
She told her she wants her to have a better life. So do not hurt yourself over these people.
Listen,
you're going to go to somebody that's better, make a better life for yourself, and get out of this. She wanted her to get out of this life.
Look, these killers, like Sophia is, she's a murderer.
Now she is. She wasn't when she got put into the asylum when they said she was.
But the thing is, once you get to that level where you're murdering people like she is now, regardless of why she got there, she's murdering people. When you get to that point, they all want to have something. Like, for instance, we have the Penguin. He's doing what he's doing. He rationalizes it because, I'm doing something good because I'm getting my mom what I promised her.
Yeah.
Or
that's how they always
I'm doing
do.
something good too. Like, he tries to make himself feel better because when he takes over, he's going to be a good boss, right? He's going to be the kind of boss that's not going to be the way. He's going to go old school with it, like where they showed respect in the streets and stuff, kind of like the old Godfather movie. You know what I'm saying? Like
Rex Calabrese is what he kept talking about.
Right. So like he's doing them for these so-called good reasons. Just like, for instance, Sophia isn't going to like just kill and murder this girl. She so-called has limits, right? Oh, well, what I did to my family was okay because they were bad. What I did to whatever is because of this and this and this. It's always to rationalize it. It's like, oh, you're a horrible person. Well, I didn't kill the kid. That's what you're going to be your argument.
Yeah, man.
I ain't that horrible. I didn't kill the kid.
They're all horrible now.
Yeah, they're all horrible. The mob, when it rose in America, they would go to church. They would go to church on Sundays, acting like that. Them like, I just murdered.
Give the money,
last night.
Yeah,
they would donate to churches and be like, we just like. We were doing racketeering. I just assassinated someone last week, but Sunday I'm gonna go to church with my family.
and take care of the community.
And their reasoning.
That's why that scene in The Godfather where during the christening was so crazy, because during like religious events like Sundays, like they used to have truces like on Sunday mornings. It's called like you don't do nothing bad on Sunday mornings because everyone's at church. You know, like so they exactly, so like they just like probably Sophia or them talking about justification, like it happens in real life where like you think probably like Gotti or whoever these Bunny Siegel were like, oh, let me go to church real quick, even though I just murdered 3 people last week.
Yeah, but like the thing would be, see, for them, for instance,
Bugsy
like
Siegel.
But for those guys, for instance, it would be the people they killed was going to hurt the town. The people they killed wasn't innocent, right? They were in the game. You know, the rule was, mob boss they had a rule, back in the day where it was like you only go after people in the game. Innocents are left alone. You know, you can beat them up, but you can't kill them. You know, innocents if they piss you off or something. And like they had a code of like not talking to the police. I don't know what it was called. It was like Nokova Costa or something. I don't know. I'm not Italian. I don't know these things. Randy, help me here.
Listen, I'm Italian. I don't know a lot of these things, but
No, like I watched a lot of History Channel. They had like 4-part documentaries on these things, man. Like there's like a motto or something. It was where like it's like you don't talk to police or or stuff like that. It was
don't be a narc.
Yeah, it was something
I do have a question while I'm thinking about it too. So Vic was only in this episode at the very beginning. He was
Omerta. It's called Omerta. There it is. Omerta. Code of honor. Mafia code of honor.
So Vic, he was only at the beginning of the episode where he had been knocked out. He gets woke up. He gets sent to go get the army. Nobody knows where he's at. My question would be to you guys: how do you think he's going to show up at the right moment at the right time in the next episode? Like, what is he going to do? We're going to have another car to show up out of nowhere that he runs somebody over with. He's just going to come out guns a-blazing. And
because he tells him to go get an army. He's a call Zhao.
Well, but I don't think he ever makes it because, like, his army, right? Oh, wait. So this would be the thing. I would assume it would have been his boys, like the boys back down in the thing.
No.
But was he trying to go get the other families?
Yeah. He was calling them. That's what he says. Go call Zhao. Go call O'Brien. Go call them. Go give me an army.
That's what's about to happen. Yeah. So
because he walks out of because before Sal walks in, he shoves Vic off of a fire escape.
That's fire escape. Get
here.
Like, go get it. Build the army.
Yeah. So I assumed you caught the names. He said. So you're right. You're correct because I didn't catch the name. So like. I was thinking he was just telling him to go get his boys down there doing the drug operation.
No.
But if he was going to get the other families that he's already got to join his thing, that's what he meant by army. Because all those families together is about to like show up. The guns are blazing. They badasses. They about to take some shit out. But like, that would be the thing that we get. It will either probably be maybe in the middle of the episode, or they might even wait till the very end. Vic shows up with all the army per se.
Yeah, because the Maroni family's dead. They're gone. All those families have to deal with is the Gigante family. Because Maroni, had the heart attack.
And they were all in on the business too, and now she's just fucked with their business.
To be honest, ain't no Gigante family except for her. Like she just has the underlings because she treated them right, or they think that she treated them right because throwing the money on the table.
It's basically the Falcone family underlings, but they're called the Gigantes really. So so the Maroni family's dead. He's dead. The wife's dead. They got barbecued.
Yeah, their guys are scattered to the wind right now, so they'll probably just join with whoever they think is stronger.
Southern style. Well, actually, no, not Southern style because that's low and slow. They got smoked real fast.
Yeah, they did some of that shit that like you ain't supposed to cook it that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Like why is it burn a little? You know what I mean? You go to the grill and be like, what's that meat? And you're like, that's armadillo. And you're like, armadillo? What? That's what it was.
What the hell?
You've never had cooked armadillo before?
I've never hit one. So me and Brandi took a big road trip this week.
The love tour
per se. But Brandi didn't know, like here in the South, like there's a couple of states to where there are rules and laws.
She's lying.
if you run into an
Yeah.
animal with your vehicle, you have to stop and get them, and you have to eat them. That's the rule. If you don't, you get
That's
fined
not
like
the
a
rule.
$25,000
That is
fine.
not
Tell
the
me there's a
rule.
roadkill rule in what
No,
state,
there's
Justin?
So
not.
like in Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, just named all three of those especially. But
I
like
don't think that's a
we
thing.
weren't we were only in Alabama for what 20 for an
yeah,
hour,
but
but
we
not
didn't
even
get luckily
we're
we
in
didn't
Georgia,
hit,
South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, what
luckily
Well,
we didn't
look-
hit anything with the car,
Jersey.
and
Well, the-
I've never hit an armadillo, so I couldn't tell you what they taste like.
No,
Well,
you don't.
my friend has eaten armadillo. You know, they eat that in deep Texas. Like I think deep
Say was it
near.
Rob?
That's like
No.
revenge.
No.
eating.
These are actual country people, not that fake shit Rob be doing. You're from Illinois. Shut up. Like what are we doing here? You know.
So
But yeah, like man, like he peppered that, he spiced that stuff, man. Put it on the grill, man. They eat that armadillo. It was good. Apparently, it was good.
How did we get on armadillo from?
I don't know.
okay, so I am fitting to look up something right now.
Anyway, I had a powerful scene that I really like.
Hit me, Brandi. What scene did you really like?
The scene between Sophia and the mother.
Francis.
Yeah, thank you. I was drawing a blank on the name. That scene was very powerful because she started talking to her and she was acting, oh, my Oswald's gonna do it. And then she's like noticing the tremor in her hand, and then she kind of went to a different place. So then Sophia realizes
She's out of her mind.
Something's wrong. Like something's wrong. But I think it's a different dementia, Alzheimer dementia thing. I think it's Lewy body. The way she has the tremor, it could be mistaken for another thing, but we know it's the dementia and stuff because of the way she goes back, and she goes back in time. Can remember things from the past. I can't remember the stuff that happened in the future.
Yeah,
that's what I'm dealing with a lot with my mother. But this is a different form of it, and Sophia's seeing her like. She was like, my boys, my boys, they're 15 and 10. That's how we know how old the kids are. They're not home. We're gonna find them. They went to the movies, you know.
Brandon, you think at the end of the I don't want to skip forward, but at the end of the episode, do you think she's taking her to a mental institution?
I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
Because she gets out of the car, then Francis and two guards get her out of the car, and they're holding her, and they're outside on a sidewalk. You think they're putting her into like some mental institution, like just to hold her there? Because
I don't know. It looked like a movie. It looked like a movie theater. So
maybe
it looked like so they might be bringing her to a movie theater.
Yeah, because
they're bringing her to the theater. They're taking her to the theater that like
the boys.
The backstory. Yeah, no, the theater. You know, at the end when she dresses up in the dress and she's talking to Oz, like you were talking about earlier. That's the theater. The name on the theater was the same one as the one.
Yeah. I didn't realize. Yeah.
Okay.
So
and it makes sense because her mom's like kind of talking to her because like her mom's in and out of like knowing exactly what's going on.
She's saying some of the stuff behind, like back, the brother. Like she said, my boys, I gotta find them. They're 15 and 10, and it's raining out. They went to the movies. I don't know they are. So she started going back, and then Sophia's like, "Are you okay?" And that's when she backhanded her. What?
Like, get away from me.
So it could switch because 1 minute you could be in that like zone, and then you switch the next minute, go back in time.
Oh yeah, and the actress is doing really well.
Oh,
but
and fabulous. It was a powerful scene with the both of them sitting close and like really interacting. I thought that was a powerful scene. And the stuff with the girl, the little girl, was powerful too.
I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat just a second, and you can tell me if you okay. Like I said, conspiracy theory here. Don't know if it's going to be right or not, but when you look at Victor Zsa's, I think that's how you said the last name on that one, backstory, which is like a bad character, obviously from Batman, and we have a character in here with the first name Victor, obviously got a last name of something else, but that doesn't mean he could just change his last name. So in the original backstory, Zaz loses both his parents to a boating accident, which involves water. And in this show, he loses both his parents
through the flood.
He also gets involved with the Penguin because his family actually was rich, so that would be the opposite thing in here. So that doesn't match up. But usually sometimes they'll take these backstories and don't use everything and change it up a little bit. But he does get in contact with the Penguin early on, and he basically is like he's like gambling. He's depressed because of his family and stuff, and he loses all his fortune to the Penguin. So they even have ties in his origin story. So I'm going to ask you guys, one, if you think it could be happening, if Victor, the young Victor we see here, is going to be Victor Saz, like change his last name basically to something else because he's like starting to change and everything. He'd be like, oh, Victor, because he's got a Latino name. I can't remember the last name.
Aguilar.
Yeah, Aguilar. So like, will he change Aguilar to Zaz basically because he's saying the Victor Aguilar is dead? This is a new person. We did see him kill somebody for the first time in a recent episode. Yep. And like, so with those couple of connections that you could be putting your conspiracy theory hat on for, so that it's a two-part question for both of you.
Well, Justin, you're not the only one who thinks that. I just did some research. A lot of people are going through your theory. It's a theory of theirs as well. So you're on some track.
So I'm going to ask you two though. Do you think that's possible for one? And if it is, do you think we will see that be portrayed like in this season? Would we actually get like a hint of that before the season's over? We only got one episode left, and we do have Victor coming in. He's going to have to come into the fold at the end of this episode coming up because like he's going to probably show up with the cavalry at some point. Some things may happen. Maybe he even gets captured by Sophia, all this kind of good stuff. So do y'all think it'll happen? And do you think it'll happen this season? So do you think it's possible, or do you think it'll happen this season?
If he was going to get taken by Sophia, he already been taken because he was with the mother when they took the mother. They just knocked him out. He could not, but I don't know if it'll be this season.
No, I'm saying like in the next episode, he shows up with the cavalry, but somehow like one of Sophia's people or whatever grabs him when he shows up, and then like maybe kind of holds him as like ransom against the Penguins. I don't think she's going to try to kill the mom. I think like
I generally think she's just going to let the mom live because she's going to keep her hostage because
she has a little heart.
Yeah, because keeping not even just a little heart. You keep her alive. You keep control of Oz in a way.
Yeah.
Yep.
But if you kill her,
and she's got good information.
Yeah, I don't think so because of the
No, but that's the reason though. You get good information is because
she may reveal something on accident.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
like she already revealed something. Like she's she's literally taking her to the theater because she told Sophia the story. So like she's going to get bits and pieces of information about what's going on and where things might be because like she lets it out on accident. So when she's at the true mind state, she's not going to say anything. She's going to be slapping a hoe, right? But whenever she's like not in that state, when she's not lucid, she's going to actually give up information. Because the thing about like, and Brandi definitely can attest to this, but the thing about that kind of situation is that they forget things that happened yesterday, but will remember something that happened when they was 3 years old.
Yeah.
So like she's going to have all the old school information about the Penguin that Sophia could possibly get. So that's another reason to keep her alive. But no, Ferris, do you think he'll actually become Victor though?
No, I don't think so because
now are you saying that like no because you don't think it's going to happen this season, or no, it's not going to happen? Period.
Yeah, nah, because I remember because Victor Zsasz is big in the video games that I played.
Oh, he's crazy.
And yeah, he's a serial killer. He's like if you like I read his medical report because they have medical reports in these games. So I remember him
about Arkham.
Arkham games, like Arkham Knight, Arkham, or all that stuff.
Asylum and everything.
Yeah. So he's mentally unstable. He's a serial killer. He cuts himself. He believes in liberation through murder. He's murdering. So like I don't think so. Unless they want to just take.
They could change anything and make any story different.
Yeah.
But no, they can change it a little bit. But I'm just saying, like this possibly
or Justin, or are they doing that to make you think they're gonna go that way, and they're just really just kind of an original creation with like a tad bit of nuggets
it could
of
be,
realism.
But I could easily see it happening. He killed his first person.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter who you talk to, like any of these people that's been captured or whatever that didn't kill themselves after committing mass murder or being a serial killer, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
they all sit down and say the first one's obviously the hardest, and after that it became easier. It's just like someone who's like a cheater. That first time they cheated on somebody, it was real difficult.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably tearing them apart.
And then when they got away with it,
yeah, but once they got away with it, or they did it that first time, like, so most people don't get caught cheating the first time they do it, right? So like, if they only went out and had the one affair one time, right, they would be scot-free. If they never mentioned it, nobody probably would ever find out. But the problem is, once they fall into that trap, they keep doing it, and then eventually they get caught, just like a thief.
Yeah,
going into a store, they don't get caught the first time. Oh, I can steal from this store, but they get caught because they get braver and braver and braver and try to get
greedy.
bigger and bigger.
They
get greedy. So that's what I'm saying here is like he killed his first person, right? It was for sort of a just cause, I guess you could say. But what if he gets put in a situation, right? Like, so what I would be looking for in this next episode, if I'm thinking he can become the Victor Zsasz character, is something fucked up happens to him this episode. And maybe he has to kill his way out again, and he kind of loses it a little bit. And then
I could see it. I could see them going with this, so you probably change my mind. Probably not this season, but if this gets a season 2, then maybe. But if this is like a one season, connection from the Batman movie, then no. Bro. But if we keep another season, then you're probably onto something.
They did the Gotham series, and I think they did it horribly because, like, I think in the first few episodes, you meet like everybody that's ever been a bad guy for Batman. They already introduced them. Like Poison Ivy wasn't Poison Ivy, but you knew it was going to be Poison Ivy. You had the Penguin already there. You had all these characters that were all getting involved, and you met them super fast.
You met young Joker later on in the season.
Exactly. So like,
I think he went by Jerome.
Yeah, they did it horribly.
Cal Kestis, by the way, that's who the Penguin is, by the way.
Cal Actually, Kestis. You know what? I never would have guessed that, but once you said it, I was like,
Cal Kestis. Yeah, it was Cal Kestis. What's his name?
Kind of hairdo and everything.
Yeah, okay, my bad. It's Jeremiah, not Jerome. My bad. Sorry.
But the thing is that they did it terribly. I would be down if I thought they were planting seeds for a season 2. Where we got this little taste of like this one character, like we got Penguin, right? And then you just had the crime families, but you had Penguin, who was the main character. Victor, we don't know what he is, but like, let's say season 2 runs into like more Victor turning into Victor Zsasz, with Penguin kind of doing his thing as well. Like maybe he's got somebody else he's tussling with, and then Victor's kind of losing it as we go through. Boy, I'd be down for it in a heartbeat because you're taking your time and developing.
All the villains take all the other villains out, and Batman don't even have to be in this.
No, but you don't have to take them out. Like, so the crime family stuff makes sense. They don't, but the bad guys for Batman don't really take each other out. Now they're rivals to a certain point, so they're not like friends. But like, you don't have to have Penguin take Victor out. But it would be a cool like season to watch Victor slowly go down the path, but also having Penguin doing something because it's obviously the Penguin. So you'd have to have him doing something, but Victor could still be helping him out. Why would like Penguin be mad at him for becoming a ruthless killer? He wouldn't. Yeah. Like, they could be team.
He basically become his own personal hitman.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, I don't think Gotham it wasn't that bad. Okay.
Bro, that was terrible.
It was good on occasion. Not bad.
Bro, it was terrible. Like somebody tripped and there was like a new villain. It was
well, of course, that's how Batman is. He has how many villains does Batman got? He got like over 100.
Yeah, but why do you have to show him?
Justin, he has someone called the Condiment King. He fights a man named the Condiment King.
Right, you didn't have to show him in the first 2 episodes, is what I'm saying. Like, it was just like...
See, now you're over-exaggerating, because it wasn't the first 2 episodes.
Listen, I've done this before. First season, maybe, because the first 2 episodes were all about Cobb. Now I'm saying Cobb. Was all about the Penguin and Fish Mooney. So stop lying out here, man. Your ass out here acting like a lot of that stuff didn't happen. They planted the seeds way too many. They was out there just like throwing seeds like they were Farmer John, man. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to pull this reference out just like I did with Adelia with the almost next to last episode, or maybe the 3rd episode from the end on Lord of the Rings, bro. And that show particularly, it felt like I was watching like the Attitude Era run-ins. You remember every week at the end of Monday Night Raw,
Someone who showed up.
It never was someone. It was how many's going to show up.
Yeah.
It'd be a whole damn wrestling ring just filled up. You would just hear the songs. Don't, like somebody running down there, and it'd be like the glass break, and Stone Cold comes, and then The Rock, The Rock, and then like his music comes on. Now he comes down. That's what it felt like. But this show is not doing that. This show's not doing that. We don't have it. And the only one that we would have that would be a special character would be if Victor's going to turn into Victor Zaz. And we got the Penguin. So they've been consistent with that story completely. They haven't tried to there wasn't, they didn't show up at a morgue and then there's some person that might look like, oh, they could be Joker or some stupid shit like that. Yeah. They ain't doing none of that. So I appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they ended up did killing Jermaine in Gotham, but we're not talking about Gotham right now. So yeah, the Penguin, I like it. If they do that, that'd be cool. Cause then, it shows you the evolution of this character, and how he was kind of like this, scared criminal loser with a lisp or like in a stutter, and then he becomes like this psychopathic murderer. That'd be a good thing to do. But I don't want it to just jump all the way to psychopathic murderer. You know what I mean?
No, but that's what I'm saying. The show seems to be doing good. That's what I'm saying. Like, so if he were to be a character that in season 2 slowly progressed during the season to the end, and then we finally for sure find out who he is. Great setup through season 1 and through season 2 if they were to do that, because that'd just be freaking awesome. Yeah. Like, to be honest with you, really, because it lines up with Batman's biggest villain, Joker. Like what he said, like in what was it, the Killing, or one of the Joker famous runs is like that a lot of people love, The Killing, I think it's called, and
Killing Joke.
Yeah, The Killing Joke. That's it. So like Joker's like talking to, I think, the commissioner, and he's like, anybody can be me. And I think the commissioner's like, what are you talking about? He's like, it only takes one bad day. And then the whole Killing Joke story, if I'm not mistaken, is like doing
bunch
bad
of jokers,
things.
Right?
No, it was doing bad things to the commissioner to make him turn into a Joker. So he was showing him one bad day, or he was trying to show him one bad day can make anybody a Joker.
Yes.
And that would be the thing, right? That would even fit that narrative for like us to watch Victor slowly kind of maybe going in that direction, and then there's one like bad thing that happens that kind of pushes him over the edge, because we all have that breaking point.
Yeah, man. Yeah, everyone is closer to going. I think so. Like one of my professors said, everyone is closer to going to jail for 25 years than actually like being like rich or something.
Yeah.
Like, so what? Like, because like you're literally like that, man. Like one bad day, your entire life changes. You punch someone, you shove someone, you get into a fight, you end, like I've seen people, I once witnessed a fight, like a fight break out in the middle of the street where someone died.
Yeah.
Like he just punched him in the face, Justin. So he punched him in the face, and then dude like, tumbles and like he whacks his head.
Yep.
And then boom. Like
that's all it takes.
That's all it takes. Yeah.
I mean, you can literally
one bad day, you're a murderer. You didn't even mean it. You didn't even mean to be a murderer.
Yeah, exactly. Boom. Like he could have hit the guy in the temple. Like he didn't even have to fall and hit something in the wrong way. And if that guy, for whatever reason, like you could die that way. But like
that's a I remember that. That's a great line by Joker, man. Yeah. That's why he's the best, man. He's the best villain of all time.
Because he's right. But there's also the opposite of that, right? Like you could have the greatest day of your life, and it could change your life as well.
Exactly.
Right? You could change your life for the good. So exactly. Like that's the opposite pool for that.
Yeah, and then or you can be having a great day, then boom, something just ends it horribly. You can How I Met Your Mother your life or your day real quick.
Yeah.
Had a great run, and then boom, last episode ruined everything.
Brandy's brought this up in a couple of the past episodes about she's been given me and Ferris would know him as Juice. Right? She's been giving Juice a lot of crap
Shades.
Yeah, she's been like saying he creepy as hell.
He is.
If he's creepy, I think she's just as equally creepy. But like, I wanted to get Brandy's thoughts on Creeper.
Brandy's creepy or Sophia's
Creeper. No, Creep. I don't know his name in the show. He's the doctor that Sophia is like.
That dude.
Yeah.
I was like,
we know him as the Juice from like the Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
I was like, who am I talking about? Like, I'm tired. It's been a long week. It's been a long weekend. I was tired. Yeah, he came in. He's coming in and he's helping take care of the mother, like find out what's going on. But yeah, he I don't know. He still creeps me out. I
don't think he was as creepy on this episode.
He's not as creepy. But he comes in. But he was basically like, want me to take care of the kid? Like, bro,
you tried to say, but no. I tried to bring up that I thought Sophia, like I think the first time that we saw them together, I agreed with you a little bit. He was kind of being creepy, but I didn't want to call him a creep yet. I was kind of holding judgment. Then like we had another episode where then I came back with you that I thought Sophia was more of the creep. You still argued that he was more of the creep. But then we saw the episode where my man's being like tortured in a chair.
No, that was sex. They were having sex.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, he was enjoying it, but still, you know what I'm saying? Like,
it was a little sex.
Yeah. But yeah, so
he
like,
probably said, do it to him. Like, so.
Wow, how are you going to assume that? Now,
I'm thinking he likes that.
How are you going to assume that she didn't do that?
Yeah,
you don't know. You don't know what their kinks are.
I'm just saying,
it's called the rope play.
Listen, you know that
it's called the fetish.
Listen, you know that you don't, but some people don't know they have it. So like at first he was probably like, I don't know about this shit, bro. This is crazy. She being a creep, and then like she started like tickling his balls with that thing she was having. He was like, I kind of like this. Kind of like it.
No, he probably like take control. He goes.
I don't think she.
Anyway,
tickled his balls at all. What?
Anyway,
creepy. Continue.
He is creepy, but he kept saying, "You want me to take care of?"
Are you also saying Sophia's not creepy?
They're both creepy, but but he went over to it. But in this episode, he's like, "Hey," he was the one that told her the kid's talking, the kid's saying this, like. You want me to go in there and take care of? Like, basically, she needs a psychiatrist to take it. You want me to go in there and do it? Like, he's gonna try to brainwash her and get her to not have those. Like, he's like, basically, you want me to take care of it? Like, I could take care of her. The kid, leave the kid alone. Like, the kid's fucking just lost her parents and shit. And
he wants to kill the kid. He wants to kill the kid.
Like, it sounded like you want me to take care of the kid. Like, he's gonna take care of the
kid. I don't necessarily think he's a creep, but I definitely think he's a
monster.
Simp.
He's definitely a monster.
No, he's a little simp. You know what I'm saying? Where he'll do anything.
Yes, he's a simp, but he's a creep.
He's a simper.
He's a creepy simp.
Get out of here.
But he also wants to kill the kid, so he's a bit of a monster.
That's what it sounded like to me. You want me to take care of her? Like the way he was saying it, you want me to take care of her? Like
literally said, you want me to take care of it. By take care, he probably means because he's all he wants
to be her. He wants to be her therapist or psychiatrist.
Just like the Joker said.
To break her mentally, right?
Yeah,
it's like gaslight her and destroy her and she's a child, right? So she's more malleable. And that, like they said, when you learn stuff as a child, they stick. That's why they tell you to learn languages when you're children. Because the languages stick in your brain.
Look,
he went to mentally break that young child, not kill her, just mentally torture her.
We talked about the Joker's philosophy earlier, and I'm going to give you an example here of like how that could happen to someone that you didn't think it probably could. Nobody thinks Brandi would just take out a kid, right? Right? Nobody thinks that. But I'm going to tell you right now, if Brandi was about to get her hug and talk on and maybe autograph from Punky Brewster, and some kid like jumped up in front of her in line, bro, I guarantee you she would have asked me to take that kid out.
No, I wouldn't have.
Should have been like, take that little mushkin out of here, jumping in my line in front of my Punky Brewster. This kid don't even know who Punky Brewster is, not even old enough.
So you telling me Brandi's gonna kill a child over Punky Brewster?
There's been a couple of times.
I can see that.
Man.
There's
been a couple of times.
No.
Listen, I ordered, look, when we went to LA, Ferris, it's been almost from the beginning, man. It's been a couple years ago. So I've seen.
She's a bit aggressive?
Nah, bro. So we go to LA and everybody doesn't want to wait, so some people goes back to the Airbnb to wait and stuff like that, and some of us wait, was this LA or it may have been Arizona? It was Arizona. So you guys, so some of us went to go get In and Out. It was In and Out because
I wasn't there.
They do the fries, so it must have been the day before you got there. So
No.
I've never been there before. Ferris, I've never been there before. I didn't know
you got animal style fries.
I didn't know what animal style was, right? So
He messed it up.
she writes on the thing.
He fucked it up first.
She writes on the thing like she wanted a cheeseburger, whatever.
Single.
And then it was single, and then it said animal style. And
animal style fries.
Right?
No.
So I read it to the lady.
He don't read commas. He don't read commas.
I read it to the lady, showed it to the lady at the thing, and she was
Where's
like,
the comma?
The comma was the single burger, comma, animal style fries, comma.
Right. So anyway, I show it to the lady, and she's like, "Oh, you want your burger animal style?" And I was like, yeah, I guess that was so I don't know they do. I don't even know.
US the big time.
No, bro, I don't know that they do it to both, right? I thought,
yeah.
Well, when I show it to the lady, I'm like, ma'am, I don't even know what this means, animal style. Like, I'm in here for the first time, and she's like, you want the burger animal style? And I was like, yeah, I guess that's what she meant, because like when she says it like that, I'm thinking, well, maybe that's not something to do with fries. So anyway, we get back to the place. The look that Brandi gives.
What is this connection? I want to know what's the connection to Penguin.
Listen, the look that she gave over those fries. Do you not just see the look in her eyes when she was talking about he fucked it up? She didn't just say just then. She just didn't say he fucked it up. She said he fucked it up 5 times just then. She had to make sure that if you missed the first 3 times she said it, she had to add another 2 times in there.
I can't believe I missed this. I can't believe I missed this day one. This had to be day one. This had to be day one.
So yeah, because you weren't there.
Were you there when they picked Danny's dad up? That's when they went to go pick Danny's dad up.
No, we did that the first day.
I wasn't there. I wasn't there. I was still at school.
I'm just telling you, man. Like that's the kind of eye look you get. Like that's one step away from being like, oh, this little kid steps in front of me and Punky Brewster.
No. That's totally different. That is Justin fucked up my fries and he's going to get it.
See, that's what I'm saying.
The kid going in front of me and Punky Brewster or whatever.
No offense, you didn't mess it up. How do you not read the comma? It was 1 cheeseburger.
I handed it to the lady.
Well, because if I would have known, you know what? Both of y'all are stupid then.
Listen, you and the lady. If I would have known they could do it to the fries, I would have did it to mine.
I was like, where's my fries? And he's like, oh, the fries are right there. I was like, animal style fries. Where are my fries? There's regular. I was like, I don't want these fucking fries. Excuse me.
Right, you know what? Now that's that you being ungrateful now, Ben. You can't throw away fries.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Like, no, I didn't eat them all. I was like, I don't even want these fries. I was eating my burger.
Wow, Brandi, I can't believe.
She could have. Look, man, she could have. If she didn't want it on the burger, which she said she didn't.
I said,
she could have like scraped off the animal style. Fair, she could have scraped the animal style off.
Oh, Brandi, no offense. You only wanted 2 items, right? So you shouldn't have had a comma. You should have had an and. Should have been 1 cheeseburger and.
No, we had another. We had the drinks too. So.
Wow, whatever.
Well, you should have had it. Well, did you have an and the drinks?
No.
I think so. We did.
No, I probably didn't.
You like In-N-Out, Brandi? I didn't know you liked In-N-Out.
Yes, it's my thing. When I go to LA, I gotta get it because we don't have it here. So that's kind of.
Y'all got White Castle, right? White Castle.
No. Shake Shack.
What do you guys have? Shake Shack.
We just got Shake Shack.
Which is better?
I like Shake Shack.
Nah, bro, Shake Shack whack. I'm sorry, dog. The juice ain't worth the squeeze, bro. The pricing is crazy. I'm sorry.
There's just multiple stories that I could tell you that literally could fit the Joker mentality here that we've been talking about. Where one
Brandi trying to kill Brandi inches away from murdering me.
I ate a bag.
No, that would have been inches away from hurting Justin, not a kid. I would hurt Justin.
Listen, man, like
you're murdering a person. It doesn't matter.
I'm not murdering him. I'm just hurting him.
How mad she got about some Funyuns one time, bro. Just like,
did you start the Funyuns?
Yeah.
Okay, I had a little bag of Funyuns. I had them in his kitchen, not opened. And I went to go get I went to eat like
you took your
a
Funyuns
sandwich.
And opened them and ate them?
I was like, "Where's my Funyuns?" And I was like, Eli, did you eat my Funyuns? He goes, no, I don't even like it. He goes, go check my dad. I went and upstairs. I said, Justin, did you eat my Funyuns? Looked down, saw them in his trash bag, and I was like, you ate my Funyuns. He goes, well, I didn't know. I was like,
you know what, guys? You know what, Justin?
He deserves
yeah, you know what? Doesn't like you and the registered lady who didn't know how to read a post-it, you ate her Funyuns, damn bro. What's wrong with you, man? Get your shit together.
Bro, man. Like I said, though, I don't deserve to die over it.
He didn't know. I didn't say die.
I don't think they're gonna kill I think they're just gonna mentally abuse and gaslight the little girl. And they're gonna destroy her mentally, and they're gonna basically
which is just as bad. I mean,
yeah, you're right. But she's not dead.
No, that's
she's
why
still got
she's gonna wish that she was dead.
But Sophia went and took care of it. But Sophia's like, no. She went and took care of it and told the girl. And then when she came back is when she was like, I can't breathe. And he's like, your dad doesn't have his hands around your neck, like
yeah.
And so like she said, no, don't take care. I'll do it.
By the way, I don't condone mental abuse, and I don't, condone the gaslighting either. I don't want that.
No,
we're talking about bad people here.
Yeah, right? Listen, but that's the thing, man.
Don't touch my Funyuns and mess up my fries.
Yeah, except Brandi. Brandi will kill you if you messed up a Funyun.
When we saw the Origin of Sophia episode, that's been the biggest thing that I was impressed with because, look, we got to get connected. Like, you feel for Sophia to a certain way, and the only reason why you do is because they did that episode so well. That you're like, oh man, look how they were treating her and stuff, and they treated her bad, and they didn't pull no punches. They like gave it to you straight up.
Doing the same thing to this little girl
but that's why you're connected to the character. I'm tired of this like pansy ass like we're gonna do this and we're gonna hope the fans or whatever of the show can just imagine that something bad happened. Nah, man.
Now make these people bad.
Whenever they first put her in that asylum and they like are ripping off her like clothes she was wearing
that's real jail. That's what happens in real jail.
That's what happens, man. But when you see it affects you.
It's visceral.
It affects you, but it also gets you into the story because you're like, man, it's some real shit. Like and
then you see what jail did to her. She murks that she
right. So
she
because
kills that lady.
Yeah, because they went so hard.
We see her bash
but
her
that
head
only happened after because he said the brother said just wait out 6 months. It only happened after when she was like, it's 6 months, I'm gonna be getting out. And then they're like, you're not getting out. And that was her break. She's like, I'm not getting out now.
Justin goes back to what you said. It takes one bad day to be the Joker.
Yeah, and that was her straw, her final straw. Boom, that was her worst day. Bam, she snaps, does her thing. But that's my point though, is I wouldn't believe her turn. I wouldn't have believed who she became unless I think that what happened to her was bad enough to make it. And this show made it look bad enough to be like, okay, I understand. Right? I don't agree with her like slaughtering her whole family, whatever, and doing the things she's doing with the kid and probably even the penguin's mom later or whatever in the next episode, possibly. Like, I don't condone none of those things, or I don't cheer for her doing none of those things. Those are obviously bad things, but I understand why she's at where she's at because they made me feel that way, right? They made me see that aggression and everything and the things that like helped her become what she was. So like that just makes you feel for the character more. Like bad character or not bad character, you're invested because you're like, oh shit. Like the character feels more real. Like some of these other people that be trying to be like, they just tell you that something bad happened to them. You never see it. And then their character switches on a dime or something like that. And it's like, bro, this don't even make no fucking sense. Like nothing bad enough happened to you for you to be making these things. Well, with Sophia, that's perfectly opposite. They made you see the bad things that literally happened to her, like where her family's completely turning their back, right? She had that hope of like, I can make 6 months. I can make 6 months. Then they even took that away from her. And it was like, oh shit, fuck you guys. All you could die. But with that being said, each one of you guys go through, give any final thoughts you have, anything you want to talk about in the episode that we haven't talked about yet, and then give like your score on the episode. And go ahead and give a score for the season so far as a whole as we go into the final one. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Love the episode. I think I gave it a 9. It's been 9s across the board.
What was your favorite scene?
Yeah. So one of my favorite scenes. It was I was gonna bring it up, and then you brought up the Francis scene. I just need to remember what it was. It was involving Oz. My brain's not working right now.
When it was young Oz or older Oz?
Now it was older Oz. What was it? God damn it! What was it? I don't remember.
Was it
now.
between Sal and him?
Yes, thank you. Is when he brings up, the smell of his wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, they smell kind of weird, but they smelled. Did your wife have like some good hairspray or something? Because I smelled that when I burned them alive. In the face of him being just this unmitigated scumbag. You know what I mean? Like, and then in one moment you forget that Salvatore Moroni's a mob boss who's also a scumbag. In that moment you forget. You forget that
they're all that they're all scumbags.
Yeah.
Like,
So I like these types of episodes because people be like, oh, you need people to root for. No, you don't. One of the biggest shows on HBO in history, Brandi, probably one of the biggest shows in the world, is The Sopranos. Name me one good person in The Sopranos. Name me one good person. Just one. The doctor, maybe? Maybe? But everyone else is a scumbag. Even the children.
Yep.
Even the kids. Shout out to them. They have their own podcast, actually, those two kids. Now they're not kids anymore. And I don't know why I keep calling them kids. They're older than me.
They're older than you, yeah.
But yeah, so like they're all like they're all at least pieces of shit.
Yeah, that was a good scene with him and Sal and
basically just basically going through like how he just murdered his wife and his kid.
I also liked when they were fighting in the end, and then Sal just killed over. He's like, "No, you don't get to do this!" Like,
yeah, it's like you can't die on me. I'll beat you.
I gotta get you. Like,
yeah, and then I like that because it robs the Penguin
of that.
It robs him of killing Salvatore Moroni. It's just like when they
But he'll lie and say he did it because
he's definitely gonna lie and say he did it. But it's just like that scene in Superman when his dad dies. It's very poignant for Superman where his dad dies of a heart attack because it's something Superman can't save his dad from.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of people got mad of Man of Steel when Kevin Costner dies because he gets sucked into a tornado. People were like, "You could have saved your dad. Why didn't you do that?" And it's probably because he listened to his dad and told him not to show his powers.
Yeah.
But a heart attack's better because you can't stop a heart attack.
No.
You can't.
And he had all that rage in there, that pent up rage and upsetness that his heart just pretty burst.
Probably just popped.
I'm almost ready. I'm about to come back, but I do want to say real quick, that scene that you're talking about when he's like Salvatore dies because he basically has a heart attack or whatever, or from his injury that he had, because he did have that pretty horrible injury that he was trying to fix.
Stabbed.
So anyway, like when he dies right there, my only problem with the episode, kind of a nitpick, was when he shoots the gun, especially into him a few times. None of those guys that are like Penguin's team thought to like walk in there just to check and see if like Penguin died.
Yeah.
Like they were all just chilling outside, and it wasn't like they were in different parts. They were literally in that room.
They were fighting. They were fighting the other
but
guys.
there was only like a couple of guys.
Well, Justin, you also have to realize that these guys are bottom feeding criminals. So like, they'll just become Moroni men to save their asses. So either man who comes out, that's their boss.
All right, but because of that, Ferris, I'm gonna do something you don't like. I'm gonna do a 8.5 on the episode tonight.
Oh my god, even the 8.5 shit,
man! But it's only because of that. I couldn't take away a full point. Only could take away a half a point.
Well, no, I don't really agree with that because like, why would you? Because like whoever, so it's the two bosses in there fighting. Whoever comes out alive is gonna be your boss. So you really can't really check about, or like, who cares who shot who? Because we're talking about,
they're just letting them two fight it out themselves because either way they're gonna be the worker for that person.
You know, because these people they're just, you know, that's what happens a lot of times with drug kingpins. The people who like handle the drugs and like pack up the drugs and like clean it, usually they're women. And you know, in most cocaine labs, usually they're women, and like they're like not wearing clothes because they don't want to contaminate, or like they don't want the women's, you know, they don't want the drugs to be on the women's clothes, because that's how they trace the drugs to where the hell you were you. So that's how they do it. So these guys are just packing up drugs and putting drugs in little baggies. They'll do that for any
anybody gives them money.
And yeah, because it's a tale of self-preservation. Let's say Maroney walks out, hypothetically, Maroney walks out, and one of the bottom feeders then says, "No, fuck you. I'm only gonna work for Penguin." Bang, you're dead. Boom.
Oh yeah.
You don't make no more money.
Right.
Don't make no more money, and you're dead. So,
hey man, you made a little more. Hey, you made a little more sense. You convinced me. 8.7.
All right. Okay. Fine.
No, it's like an 8.5 to me. Sorry,
but you done 8-point shit, man. Come on, what just say 8.
No, because it's 8.5 for me.
Fine. Go continue. What about you, Brandi?
I already said that my favorite scenes was definitely the stuff with the mother and Sophia, and then I did like the stuff with the cousin's kid, her going in there and then just noticing that the girl's hurting herself, and then is like, no, come and hug her, and she's like, no, I'm gonna say something to you. You're gonna be confused. You're not gonna understand it at first, you know. But these people were bad, and you don't need to be hurting yourself over these bad people. So that you know, at first she was gonna lie to her, be like, oh, this is that. But no, she told her like the truth, like, hey, you're hurting yourself. Don't do this. They're not worth you hurting yourself over. So just stop it. You're gonna get with a good family. You're gonna live a better life. You know, you're gonna have a better life than what we had in this family.
Yep. And
I hope the little girl has that.
The little girl gonna come kill Sophia's ass is what's gonna happen if she survives.
No,
I don't think Sophia's gonna survive this. Y'all think Sophia will survive?
I don't know.
Nah, man. One of them has to die.
Yeah, one of them may die, or I don't know.
I got you. I agree. But with that being said, give me 1 second.
And I love the stuff with the mother and Oz when they were little and stuff, and like him trying to be.
This is called promotion, guys.
Shit.
Okay, so
I knew it was coming.
It's getting to be the holiday season, and we know what happens, guys. It's the holidays. Not too long from now, we'll be jumping into Thanksgiving, into Christmas. Ewoks will be roasting people on an open fire. And we're going to be watching the brand new Star Wars show starting December the 3rd.
Skeleton Crew.
So I hope you guys join us. That's called an ad.
And he can't hear us because he doesn't have his headphones on.
Good job, Justin.
I can't even hear you.
That's what I just said.
Good job. All right, is that all, guys?
I think we did it. We had a good episode. Can't wait to see what this next episode is going to bring with us.
Look, I got to give myself. I just thought about it. I got to give myself like probably a 4 on that ad. I was very proud of myself. I used the Ewoks and roasting the people on open fire because that actually does happen with Ewoks and everything else. But I forgot to mention the show's name, Skeleton Crew. We'll be watching the Skeleton Crew.
I did. I mentioned it.
Ferris did.
You couldn't hear me. Yeah, you couldn't hear me. All right, guys. On that note, everyone, thank you guys for joining us. Hope you guys love this as much as we like doing them. Stay safe. Stay calm.
Come back next week.
Join that coffee. Hey, Ferris, have you figured out what we're supposed to name that? Is it Kofi? Coffee?
It's called coffee. It's called coffee.
It's coffee after basically sounding like the drink.
Yeah, it sounded like the drink, but it's spelled ko-fi.com/LGR_network to join exclusive watch-alongs and have a chance to join the post-credit scenes. Every $10 tier coffee member can join us on these post-credits for the hottest new shows.
Come join the family and get yourself a cup of coffee.
Exactly.
Right? And then you can come on down, watch the shows with us.
Exactly.
And then be on the show and give us your fine thoughts.
Exactly. Give us your post-credit thoughts. You know, boom.
You can disagree with Ferris. A lot of people do.
Actually, a lot of people disagree with you. I'm a very well liked, universally liked human being. Like a couple days ago on Wednesday, this past Wednesday, we had the final episodes of Agatha All Along. Was Adelia and Chris. They also see Chris is also a $10 coffee member. Like we said, usually we have Greg here, Brandy's here. She's a coffee member. So just join us, man. You know, we're gonna be watching Skeleton Crew, so a lot of people are gonna be on that as well. So make sure to join us. I may join that because that looks pretty fun, man. I saw Jude Law in that. I saw Jude Law. I'm a big fan of Watson. So
Matt, if I'm not mistaken, is also a coffee member. He joins us watching it, but then bounces. He doesn't care about doing the reviews.
And so sometimes you have to, we can just watch them together. That's all, if you just want to watch it, but that's cool with us. But on that note, everyone, make sure to join ko-fi.com/LGR_network. It's user friendly and creator friendly. That's why we moved over from Patreon, because on November 22nd, we are shutting down our Patreon. So current Patreon members, make sure to switch over. And if you're not a Patreon member, become a new coffee member. That's all we got to say. But on that note, everyone,
get that cup of coffee.
Exactly. Have a wonderful night. Stay safe. Drip. And we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Yeah, get that drip going.